Hi guys, what up? It's your favourite Northern Lass with the Relationship Bible podcast. I am Kate, aka the Healthy Relationship Coach, and I am here to answer your question of what the frig am I doing? What the frig am I doing with my life? For context, I am 23. Wait, no I'm not. Fuck. I'm 24. I've not got them in my head yet. I'm 24 and living at home, and I've just quit a part-time job which was giving me panic attacks, and now I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm having a bit of a crisis, a quarter-life crisis if you will. I'm questioning what I'm doing with my life, and therefore I'm teaching myself, advising myself, and advising you if you're going through the same thing. Okay, you're welcome. So, yeah. The question that I'm asking myself at the moment is, I'm living at home, doing what I'm doing. What am I doing? I'm not travelling. I'm not technically working on my own business. I'm not buying a house. I'm not having babies. I'm not climbing the career ladder. So what am I doing? And there are people that are doing that. And the question is like, should I be travelling? Should I be settling down? Should I be buying a house? Should I be living in London? Like, what should I be doing with my life? And I think a lot of people are also asking themselves this question. So if you're asking yourself this question, you need to keep watching this video. So, firstly, why are we having this crisis in the first place? And it's because we have access to everyone around us life information. I know that Karen's daughter Charlotte across the street is now got 2 kids, a husband's got a steady job, she's working from home while, looking after the babies, and they've got a good life, and the parents have helped buy the house, and I don't know, they're looking at getting all this cute furniture. I know that someone else is living in London, got this certain career, they're on 200k, living a great life, and I know that people are travelling to Canada and Australia and living there now, and I'm like, right, okay, what should I be doing? And it's just because I know what everyone from my primary school is now doing, I know what everyone from high school is now doing, I know every individual career that everyone from university has taken. Most of them are managers now, which, with the correct career trajectory is about right. And I'm like, I've never been a manager. Should I be a manager? Anyway, so it's just because we have all this information in our fingertips, in our phones, in our hands, and we're like, even though we might not go, oh, look what such and such is doing, we'll just scroll past it and be like, oh, look. And we've got a plethora of the things that everyone around us is now doing, but what makes you think, like, what should I be doing? So what should we be doing? And it might make you think like, oh, they're further ahead than me, I'm behind what everyone else is doing. Well, there's nothing to say that that is a thing at all, because their personal life might be different, or people who get ahead really early in life, all of a sudden they've achieved everything and they have a mental breakdown. Not that like you want anyone within your social media circle to do that, but career prospects, productivity, all these different material obtainable goals are not the be all and end all. Someone could be incredibly unhappy. There's a lot of people in corporate jobs who are unhappy, and the worst thing you can do is remain stagnant and be in a job that you hate, because you're either not moving forwards or you're not moving backwards, and sometimes going backwards is good to move forwards, which is something that I've just done, so yay me. Okay, so yeah, basically we're all different, we're all deciding that we've got different paths. Some people aren't having kids, some people are. Some people are buying houses, some people are renting, some people are still living at home with their parents. So yeah, we're all different, and that's okay. So, what can be done? We need to compare less. It goes without saying. It's very standard. But how do we do that? So, get off social media. I don't know. Yes. Unfollow every single person that you went to high school with. Like, if that's what you need to do, that's what you need to do. You know, it's not personal. It's hopefully not going to offend anyone. But yeah, like, and I'm sure people watch what you're doing and they're like, oh, cool, they're doing such and such, because you're not going to post on Instagram anything other than perfect nowadays. So they might see that perfect highlight reel and not know that you're questioning, what the hell am I doing? And the secret is, everyone is asking themselves, what the hell am I doing? So you're never alone with that. But yeah, like, if you don't want to see that Sarah is renovating her house with her husband and she's got a baby on the way, and you're like, oh, I'm not doing that, or, you know, I don't know, whatever else anyone else is doing, like I said, even though consciously you're not like, oh, subconsciously you're absorbing that information, and your brain's like, why aren't I doing that? We're not doing that. We're behind. And I think it's just like something that goes on in your brain, logic that's like, we are behind, we must move forward, we need to move to the next level. But like, who's to say what that level is? Because you get to decide ultimately. So you get to decide what you do with your life, and if what you're doing with your life right now is making you happy and you're aspiring for like the next thing, that's good. So long as you're, you know, going after your own goals and making sure that you're happy and doing what makes you happy, who's to say you're untouchable? So I'm also going to talk about in a bit comparing down and aspiring up, which is an amazing thing which I saw advised to me somewhere online at one point, and it really, really helps, because there's always someone worse off than you, and there's always people doing better, and you don't want to look up and be like, oh my goodness, they're doing so much better. You're like, oh my goodness, they're doing so much better. Well done to them. How have they done that? That's amazing. Well done. And comparing down, like, to someone who's not doing as well as you, to feel good. Because why would you want to feel bad? You don't. Anyway, next up. So, what the frig should you do? Okay? So, this is a question that you need to answer yourself. So, with me, living at home with my parents is pretty damn hard, because I feel like they're constantly looking over my shoulder, like, managing my every move. I saw something somewhere online that said, oh, how's living at home? And like, yeah, I'm paying in my mental health. And it's like, yeah, because like, you go to bed late, they're like, oh, you should be in bed. You wake up late and they're like, what time do you call this? You get a parcel and they're like, what you been ordering? And it's just like, you've constantly got an auditor looking over your shoulder like, that wasn't very good, was it? That wasn't very good. Was it cake? No, it's like, oh my goodness. So yeah, you move out and you got to pay rent, but at least you got your independence and your sanity. No, it has its ups and downs. Obviously, like, living at home is amazing sometimes. Anyway, if you have lived your life potentially as a people pleaser and pleasing everyone around you, then it's likely that you've lived your life up until this point doing what everyone else thinks that you should be doing and pleasing everyone else around you. But it's time now to, you know, please yourself and follow your happiness and your peace, and actually sit inside yourself and be like, what do I want to do that's going to make me happy? And answer that, and, you know, then you can be settled within yourself that you're doing the right thing in life and not knowing what Karen's daughter's doing. Okay, so let's get into that. So I've put on this slide but how? So how do you do that? You could answer that question, but how? So literally take some time to find what makes you happy. Look back on who you were as a child, what you did, what made you happy, what you spent your time doing. I spent my time making videos on news weather reports and dancing and acting and putting on shows for my friends and family and pretending to be old women doing a baking show and all sorts of random things like that. Oh, did you hear my neck crack then? I think it was the back of my head. Anyway, so like, start small to not internalize, but get inside yourself and find the answers to the questions that you seek. To find the answers of the questions that you seek. All that philosophical stuff. But yeah, like, talk to yourself. go for a walk, start small, and like look into everything that you've hated throughout your career, the types of bosses, the types of workplace environments, what are the things that you've hated, what are the places that you've thrived, and literally write that down. Like, what do you get enjoyment from, what are you good at? One thing that I would highly recommend is I've spent 30 quid on a 16 personalities test score thing to find out what my personality is. You know, the Myers-Briggs MBTJ thing. I am a ENFJ T. So extrovert, I don't know what the N is. T, thinking, J, judging, and then T again is turbulent. No, ENF, feel, and then J, judging, and then T, turbulent. What's the N? I can't remember, but it literally sums me up in so well, in a pin. It sums me up in a pin, like, so well, and it's so validating. Like, it's everything that I already really know about myself, but then it applies it to your career, your relationships, like development, and it's really validating to literally read something that is like, oh my god, it knows me, and then have it applied to your life and learn a bit more about yourself. Like, yeah, I always thought that about myself, and now it's like backed up by science. So yeah, I would definitely invest in that. You can also do it for free and find out which one you are. But I did this to specifically find out a little bit more detail, and honestly, I think it's really, really worth it, because then it stops me from now going on a different path of like, oh, you know, I'll go do this, rather than looking at this first. If I'd have had this sooner, I would have completely understood myself a lot more and not made the same mistakes that I've made now going into careers that, you know, never really would have suited me in the first place. Right, moving on. Take some time to reflect and think, and don't jump into anything, because that's what I did, and it made me unhappy, and I like got desperate to move on to the next thing, and then I moved into the wrong thing. So it's only gonna set you back in the long run if you jump into the next thing that you think might be good. So yeah, that is my overall video on what the frig am I doing. So like, answer the questions of what did you enjoy, to, you know, now be like, right, what shall I do next? And delete those people off social media. Follow some more accounts that make you feel good. Follow more accounts like mine, more that are geared towards, you know, like positive mental health. People that talk about anxiety, that talk about being this age, people who are potentially older who can give you that wisdom. Look after your brain, because it's an organ, and, you know, get back to me on how far you get with having this talk with yourself. And just remember that everyone's in the same boat. No one really knows what they're doing. And I also watched that video from Owie My Brain Hurts, and they said, so you start being an adult at 18. So if you're 24, that's 6 years into adulthood. Hers was 5 years into adulthood. Assuming you live till 80, that's 9% of your adulthood you've like gone through, so you've still got 91% left. So that was a reassuring fact that I read in her video that made me feel a lot better. So yeah, anyways, if you made it to the end of this video, I love you tons. Yeah, look around for more. I'm doing quite a few different series of these videos based on how I'm feeling at the moment, so check them out.